Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to create a simple login interface using Vue.js and Vuetify. Vue.js is a JavaScript framework that lets you build clean and elegant JavaScript application, while Vuetify is a UI component-based user interface designs that is comparable with Bootstrap or Google Material Design. So before we start building this simple login page, you need to have Node.js installed on your operating system, be it Mac or Windows, and you also need to have Vue CLI installed. Vue CLI is a Vue command line interface for writing Vue scripts or codes. So what we do next is to go to our browser and go to Node.js page to download the latest version of Node for your operating system. Once you are here, you can click on any of these versions that is compatible with your operating system, and it will be downloaded to your download folder. I already have this downloaded, which is this here. So when you have this, you can click on it and follow the instructions. I already have it installed, so I don't need to continue, so I'm canceling. But if you don't have it installed on your machine, please, you can follow the instruction and finish up the installation. So after the installation, you go to your terminal to confirm if Node.js is installed. I already have it installed, so for you to confirm if it is installed properly, you go to your terminal. I'm using Git bash. You can be using it, or maybe you're using Windows command line interface. So on your terminal, you type node-v, enter on your keyboard, and my own Windows operating system is showing that I have Node version 12.18.3 already installed on my operating system. So fine, that means we are good. So the next thing you need to do is to install Vue CLI on your machine. So for you to install Vue CLI, you go to your terminal and type npm install -g at Vue CLI. So this -g is to install this Vue CLI globally on my operating system, so that anywhere I wish, any folder I want to create my project, I am at liberty to do that. Even though I like creating a particular folder where all my projects will be located, but it doesn't really matter where I create it, in as much I use -g on my installation, which means Vue CLI will be installed globally on my operating system. So after typing this, you enter key on your keyboard and you will wait for it to install. I already have Vue CLI also installed on my operating system, but I'm showing you so that you know that you need to have it installed for you to be able to develop Vue applications on your machines. This is for your information for those who are new to Vue and for those who are new to JavaScript. So I'm going to cancel it, Ctrl+C. So on your own, if you haven't installed it, allow it to finish the process. So let me check for Vue -version. So Vue CLI 4.5.4 is installed on my own machine. Your own could be a different or the most recent version. So, but for you to confirm that it is installed, you type Vue -version to confirm the version of your Vue. So guys, after confirming the version of your Vue that you installed, the next thing you need to do is to create your Vue application. And for you to create your Vue application, all you need to do is to come to your terminal And by the way, if you want to read more about Vue.js, this is their documentation. This is the page you come. You see the installation process and other things you need to know about Vue. The documentation is a very handy tool or a reference point for you to run to anytime you needed to know and confirm about something. So for us to create our Vue application, you come to your terminal and you type on your terminal Vue create then the project name. I'm calling my Vue login. So guys, you can have a separate folder where you creating all your application. So I'm creating my own application on my documents folder. Your own can be on a different place or anywhere you choose it to be, but this is where I'm creating mine. And Vue login is the name of the folder, the project name. It is going to create a folder for us on my document. So after typing Vue create Vue login, then you enter on your keyboard and then we'll wait for it to install. So let's wait for it. So the installation is going to take a few minutes depending on the speed of your internet connectivity. So we have an instruction here. I should please pick a preset. So I'm going with a default, which is default Vue 2 Babel ESLint. Enter on your screen and then we wait for it to create. So guys, I'm going to be pausing this video here, and then once my installation is through, I'm going to come back and then we continue from there. And also hopefully yours will also create the Vue project successfully. So once my own is okay and created, we'll come back and we continue. So I'm pausing the video here. So guys, welcome back. The installation process has been completed. So a folder has been created for us. Let me ls. So I have a folder Vue login. This is it here. So I'm going to cd into the project folder, cd Vue. Okay, well, let me clear my page, my terminal, so that I'll see a clean working area. So this is the folder here, Vue login. So cd into Vue login, cd Vue-login. So we are inside our project that has just been created for us. So let's install Vuetify. So it's a Vue add Vuetify. So Vuetify is a UI plugin that we're going to use for this our application. Like I said initially, it's comparable to Bootstrap or Google Material Design. So an instruction was given here. We should choose a preset. So let's go with the default. Enter on your keyboard and wait for it to finish installing. Alright guys, Vuetify has been installed for us. Let me clear my working area. So what do I do next? For us to start up our development server, I need to npm run serve. Our development server is being started and is being compiled. All this is the compilation that's been done. So guys, our application has been compiled and it's running on port 8080. So what we need to do next is to go to our browser and enter this URL, this localhost 8080. So let's go here and say localhost localhost 8080, you enter. Well, so our application has been successfully set up for us. Our Vue has been installed. Our Vuetify plugin for our UI has been installed. So guys, what we want to do next is to open our project on an IDE. So I'm using VS Code. You can be using IDE of your own choice. So let me open VS Code, Visual Studio Code. So next thing is to navigate to my project directory. Let me open a folder. So my project is located in my documents. So let me go to my documents, and here is it, Vue login. So you navigate to where yours is located and select the folder, and then the folder is open. So on my project explorer, this is the files that we have inside our working directory, which is our Vue login, or the name we gave yours. So all our files will be located mostly on this source folder subdirectory inside this. So assets, we hold our static content such as our images. Component is going to hold our Vue.js pages, maybe our header component or footer component, sidebar component will be located here. And then main.js is our main entry point for our application. So this is our working area where we'll be writing all our code. When you come to the UI, this is what you see. This you see here is like the landing page of your application. So, and that is what we have here, the app.js. So this is the entry point of our application. So on the main.js, you import whatever page you have created. This is our app, and this is where it's being imported. So sorry guys. So what do we do next? We clear everything we have on this page because we don't need it. So let me select everything, Control A, and then delete it. So when we go back to our page, I don't think we're supposed to see anything. So we have an empty page. So what do we do next? So we start with templates, then we create our script, then in case we may need data components, which I think we might, you create your data, so return, yeah, so this is it. So when we go to our page, there will still be nothing on the page. In fact, we have an error here because just a template. So what we do next is to, we have our V app. So V app is just like a div and a closing div for all our tags or our components. Is a Vuetify tag. So yeah, the error has been cleared. So the next thing we want to do is to create our menu bar. So our menu bar, we have V app bar, and then we give it a color of let's say blue. So by the way, this is all, you can find all this information in your Vuetify documentation. So this is your Vuetify documentation. It contains the installation of how to add Vue to your Vuetify to your Vue application, which is what we did, Vue as Vuetify. So you can come to this UI components, and then you can select any component and see how it's being used. If you want to use banners, if you want to use badges, if you want to use bars, app bars, which is what I'm trying to do now. So I'm trying to create app bar. So, and I started with this, which is v app bar, which is what we have here. V app bar. So v app is like a container if you are used to Bootstrap. V app is like a container, while v app bar is like the app bar, which is what we have here. So like the menu bar in your Bootstrap. So v app bar is to help us create this. So these are all the API, the properties and props that the component can make use of, and all of them have their uses. You see this app, what is it? What's the description for app? So description designate the component as part of the application layout used for dynamically adjusting the content sizing. So as you can see now, you see that I created the app bar and I gave it the color of blue, and what we have, we see that the whole page is covered by our menu bar, which is not proper. So what we do based on this documentation that I just read out, this app prop, you see it designates the component as part of the application layout used for dynamically adjusting the content. So what do? I come to my application and add the props app. So come here and you see such a beautiful and elegant looking menu bar. So that is the function of this app bar. It's a prop that helps us dynamically position our component to look nice and beautiful based on this statement here. So look at it here. So let's go back to our code. So let me add a props of dark. I'll tell you the use of that later on. This is to make our content white. So maybe I want my content when I write. Okay, let me just even remove it so that you can see what is happening. So our v app bar have another sub tag, which is v2 title, v2 bar title, toolbar title. So what is the title? We call it Vue login. So you can see it here, Vue login. So when I add these props dark, what does that do? It makes my write-ups to be white, so it's more readable now. So when I remove it, you see the dark write-up. When I make it dark and save, you see it looking white now. So that's nice and beautiful. So next thing is to add our menu items. So let me use button for it, vbtn, v-btn. So let me call it home. Let me create another one, v-btn. Let me call it login. Okay, let me create another one, v-btn. Let me call it about. Let me create another one, v-btn. Let me call it contact us. So you can see all our menu items, but this is not the way I want it to look like. So they have another tag called vspacer. So what would this do is to move all these menu items to the right, creating a space in between the menu title or the V toolbar title and these V buttons. So I come to this place and I say v-spacer, and you can see it has been well spaced. So now we are having a dark background, which is not looking good. So there's another prop called text. So when I come to these buttons and I type test. Let me add it all. Test. So you can see now we now have a transparent background for our menu items or our V buttons. So I can add another prop called rounded. What does that do? So you can see, oh, it's rounded a bit on the edges, while this is still squared. So let me add it to all of them. Rounded, rounded, and rounded. So guys, we have a good looking menu bar for our login page. So the next thing we need to do is to create on the main page here a card that will contain our tests area and our test area for our password. So let me create a v content, and then our v card, and then our v title, v card title, and then let me call the title login area. So let's go. So you see our card has been created, and this is our card title. So this card is kind of too big, covering the whole page. So let me give it a width of 500. All right, so it is at the leftmost angle of our page. So let me make it to be at the middle of the page. Let me give the class of MS Author. So it is at the center, but it's still a kind of very close to our menu bar. So let me give it a margin top of 5, and it's a bit spaced. Let me even make it maybe 9, and it's a bit spaced downwards. So our card is looking a bit pretty. So the next thing I need to do is to create the card contents. So v card title. So the next thing is the v card test. V card test. All these things I'm writing is on the documentation. You can find it on the documentation of Vuetify. V card tests, which is like the content of the card. They'll have v tests field, which is like an input field. So let me just do it this way. So I need to give it properties. So let me give it a label. Let me call it username. And then let me refresh my page. So we have it here, username. So it's showing up. Another one, have our v test field. Let me give it a label of password. Refresh, and you have your password, but it's not password. So I need to explicitly state that this is a password, yes, for it to recognize it as password. Password, close. So now it is a password. So next thing I want to do is to add a little icons here, a user icon and a kind of lock icon, a padlock icon here. So I'll come to this place and I say prepend icon, MDI. These are all inbuilt into Vuetify. MDI, accounts, circle. You can see that already here. And I'll come here. And I'll come to our password area file. Let me break this so that it will look readable. And here I will say prepend icon, MDI, lock. So you can see it here now. So they are all inbuilt into Vuetify. So our login page is actually becoming more pretty and coming out with ease. So the next thing I want to do is to create our buttons, our register and login buttons. So that is within the V card. It has to be within this V card. So we have a V divider, which is going to kind of create a separation between two components of two tags or two HTML tags. So V divider. Then we have our V action, V card action, card action. Let me zoom out this page. I don't know if you guys are seeing what I'm doing, but let me zoom it in. So started here, come down. So V card actions, and then I'll save. There's those V card actions like just the footer of the card that we are working on. This is the card here inside the V contents. So this is the V card. This is the divider separating this V text and the V card actions. So in between the V card actions, we have our V buttons, VBTN, and let me call this register, and the next one let me call VBTN. Let me call this login. So let me give this a color of success and give this a color of info. So guys, you can see this is the divider, this line you're seeing here, and then this area is the V action area, and this space you're seeing is because of the divider we used. So our buttons are all looking good. So what next do I need to do? So I want a kind of situation whereby I can want to see my password. I can click on an eye icon here to see, click on it again to hide it. Maybe I was typing, I'm not sure of my password or what I'm typing. I can use those icons here to to see what I'm typing, to see if I'm typing the right password. So I'm going to go back to our code. In the V password area, I'm going to say append icon, let me say MDI off, so you can see it. But this it's not doing anything. It doesn't have any use here, because even though I type and I click on it, nothing happens. So I'm going to create a data property that's going to help us, toggle between these things. So let me come to my code and come to this place. I created this earlier on. So in your script tag, we have an export, and we have our data property and a return. So let me say show password. Show password. Then make it false, so that on the first instance, our show password is false, so that we won't be able to see it. And once we click on the eye icon, we can make it true or false by clicking on this. So I'm going to come to this place, and then I will data bind it, and then I'm going to say show password, is a ternary operator. So if your password is true, do something. If it's false, do something. So if your password is true, then we want to have MDI. But if it's false, it should be MDI off. So it's still not going to do anything for now, because we need to attach a click event on this. So let me say at click, append. So at click this append, what do you want it to happen? You want it to toggle between true or false. So our show password should be the inverse of its current state. You get it now? So if it is false, it becomes true. If it is true, it becomes false. So that is what this line is saying. So okay, let me refresh my page. So let me type here, click. Okay, it's still not working. Oh guys, why is it not working? So let's still go back to our code. So I need to data bind these two, so that I can, change the type from password to text whenever I click on this. So let me say data bind it to that, so that to be able to track. This data binding is like, okay, I want you to be in sync with this data property to know the state at every point in time. So let me still, say show password. If it's true, then I want to have a text property. If it's false, I want my property to be password. So you can see, oh, it's looking very good now. So you see. So I mean, our login page is looking fantastic, looking very beautiful, looking very gorgeous. So guys, the next thing I want to do is to add a footer to this our beautiful login page. So let me go to our Vuetify documentation. Let's go to the Vuetify documentation. So on our Vuetify documentation, let's locate UI components. Let's go to bars. Okay, let's locate footer. Look at footer here. So you see different footer styles. Okay, so these are different footer styles. So let me copy one of these. You can see this is, when I click this, I'm going to see the source code. So let me copy this and then come to our source code here, and then let me paste it outside the content. Save, go to our page. You can see now we have our footer nicely placed below. So let me delete certain things we don't need like this. So it's gone. So let me give do I need to give this again? So V icon, V spacer, V button. Guys, so that is it. So I've just taught you how to build a beautiful login page using Vue.js and Vuetify. So if you like this tutorial, guys, please support us by subscribing and clicking on the notification, so that once we upload a new video, you can be able to receive notification. And also invite your friends who may need it to come and watch and learn new things. Thank you, guys. On the description below, you'll see a URL pointing to the GitHub repository where the source code of this particular practice example is located. So you can follow the description below on the link to take you to GitHub. There you can clone this for your own practice. Thank you. Please, guys, subscribe and click on the notification. See you next time. Bye.